Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show, and it's time to get the Ouyen United Kangas netball report with the head Kanga, Caitlin Vine. Caitlin, great to be with you again. How you doing?
Thanks. Good to be back. Another week has flown by. Feeling nice and relaxed this week.
Good. That's what we want to hear. Well, you should be feeling relaxed because there's no netball to worry about tomorrow, Caitlin. But we'll go to last week's results. So just paint the picture as to how things went for the club across all the senior sides, and give us a bit of a overview as to how the younger sides, the developmental teams, are getting on as well.
Yeah, so travelled up to Mildura, had a really cracking start in most of our games. We were really strong for the first half, and then unfortunately just tapered off. So no wins on the board. I think we might have had a junior win. Other than that, pretty disappointing to not get anything on the board, especially in our seniors against Mildura. We're very, very close. We just need to push in that last quarter. So we had a really tough week on the track this week in our training. We were pushed really hard, encouraged to work on our fitness. That seems to be the only thing letting us down. And obviously the Mildura clubs are very fit. So we were really disappointed. There was only a few goal losses in most of the grades. So we know we can do it. We've just got to push that little bit harder.
We'll just get some of those final results on the record there, Caitlin. Just A and B grade, how did we go?
Yeah, so in the A grade, as I said, had a really good start, keeping up with them. The defence in A grade was quite strong and quite tall compared to our small shooters, but our small shooters were still equally nimble, so worked really hard. Our defenders were sensational, getting the ball back down to our shooters as much as possible. The final score was 43-28. So a disappointing loss there and a bit of a margin, but still really happy. I know that Mildura's best and fairest, who was also, I think, the league best and fairest last year as a shooter, started in defence for Mildura, and they quickly swapped her back into goals. I think their first quarter, they didn't really have that accurate shooting that they wanted, and putting Jess McNamara back into goals was certainly a big key win for Mildura. So a little bit disappointing there, but we know that we'll get there. And in the B grade, Ouyen had a really good lead throughout the whole game. I think we were up by 2, 3, 4 goals, and 4 goals we were up by in the third quarter. We thought we just had to steady there and stay there, but unfortunately our fitness is what let us down. So it was 34-29, Mildura's way in the end. Really disappointing, really tough to lose by just a few goals when we were up the whole game, but that's netball, and just, really looking forward to working on our fitness and getting up next week.
We can tell that it's certainly affecting some of the more senior heads there. You can just hear how dejected you sort of are in your voice, and it obviously must hurt, particularly when you've been competitive too after a few weeks where you've sort of been nailed in the end. But let's just, before we look ahead, Caitlin, we'll get you to pick apart the A grade Sunraysia ladder for us. How does that look at the moment?
Yeah, so looking at the ladder, no surprises. We've got Wentworth on the top. They've had the 4 wins so far with a crazy percentage of 323. So, obviously they're huge wins. I think they had another massive win on the weekend against Redcliffe. I think they might have got 87 goals, which is crazy numbers for netball. So they're at the top. Mildura are sitting in second place there on 12. Mildura also were one of the top teams last year, so no surprises that they've maintained that strength. South Mildura currently sitting in third on 12 points as well. Irimple on 8, Imperial 6, Merbean 4, Robinvale 4. Redcliffe are sitting on 2 and Ouyen at the bottom sitting on 0. So obviously, as I mentioned, disappointing to be on the bottom, especially being successful in the past few years. But it's only the beginning. We're only 4 games in. So we've got a lot of work to do, but we're good at coming back and working from the bottom all the way to the top. So that is the A-grade ladder at the moment. 4
of 18 rounds in, as you say, so plenty of weeks still to hopefully improve and accumulate some points, because you don't want to leave it too late if you're going to make a run of it at some stage this season. Now, just looking ahead, Caitlin, I would take it that the overall view there within the four walls of the club is that it's probably the best time right now to have a bye.
Absolutely, yeah. I think everyone was really eager to have that bye, to be able to work really hard at training and not worry about sort of pulling up too sore, and just reset, calm our heads and look forward to the next few weeks. We've got a fair few juniors coming through to our trainings and really eager to get our juniors close to the court, if not on the court, really strengthening them as we progress through the season. At the moment, we've got plenty of numbers, but we know that with holidays and injuries that things will change. So we're really trying to stay versatile and just keep chipping away at our little strengths in order to try and get those big wins later down the track.
Is it a bit of a fork in the road almost, Caitlin? Do you sort of start thinking, okay, do we really start shaking things up now and giving some of these younger players a bit of a go, or are we way too early for any of that talk at the moment?
It's always a 50-50. We go through peaks and flows with the numbers that we have. We're not a club who does trials and cuts people out completely. We like to make sure that we give everyone as much of a go as they can. So with bringing juniors up and giving them a run, it gives them the opportunity for a lot more gameplay, but it often means that senior players are missing out. So, sometimes you have to make those tough decisions in order to look at the succession plan of our club. But I think definitely, with the games that we've had so far and what's missing from our teams, I think there's definitely no question that we'll be shaking things up with some juniors down the track.
All right, well, let's take a look ahead at round 5. No Ouyen this weekend, but nevertheless, we'll just get your tips with some of these games. So Imperials Wentworth, I assume there's only one way most people will go with this one, Caitlin?
Yeah, definitely Wentworth. They'll do that easy.
South Mildura, they host Mildura, the Mildura Derby, always a tasty affair.
Yeah, and at the precinct, so this would be a good day for South Mildura. Obviously, that's second and third on the ladder, Mildura and South. So I think that this will be a great tussle. I think that Mildura will get the win. Red
Cliffs entertain Irimple. Which way do you see this one going?
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for Red Cliffs to look at getting a steal. Obviously, they've only had the draw so far, but I think it'll be a battle of some young players there, and I reckon Redcliffe might just be able to get on top.
Robinvale Euston at home to Merbeen, another entertaining game I'm sure that we can look forward to here.
Yeah, definitely. This will be really competitive, but I think that Merbeen will come out on top.
Well, before we let you go, Caitlin, let's just quickly look at National Volunteers Week, really trying to put all those volunteers in country sport under the limelight because of all the work that they do. I'm sure there's plenty close to you who you've, grown up alongside at the Ouyen United Kangas Netball Club. So are there any names that come to mind immediately when you think about people that deserve, top billing as far as recognition goes for work that gets done without any pay, of course?
Absolutely. Our club, like many others, wouldn't function without our volunteers. We are so lucky to have a big volunteer group who help every week. There's always things that just seem to happen magically that we never know about. Where we have some big names in our club who have been volunteers for a long time. Digger Barker is imperative to our club. He's always making sure that the barbie's going and he's cooking feeds for everyone. He seems to do just sneaky jobs that when you rock up stressed out about something, he's already been in the kitchen, he's sorted it out, or he's fixed the leak in the toilets, or he's out on the ground fixing something. So Digger Barker is a sensational volunteer and we'd be lost without him. All of our committee put in a heap of effort each week to get our club up and running. I think closer to home, Raylene Vine, my mum, our netball club wouldn't run without her. I think she does about 6 or 7 jobs every week, whether it's coaching, umpiring, score coordinator, umpire coordinator, in the kitchen, whatever. She just lives and breathes it. So this is definitely her week this week. We worked out the other day that there's 100 jobs each week just to make netball run. So thank you so much to our amazing members, volunteers and players who put their hand up each week, not only to play, but to umpire, score, time, work in the kitchen, cook up a baked spud, whatever it is. So we're so lucky to live where we are and to have the amazing club and community that we do.
Yeah, really well said. And I was about to say, I'm glad you went there because half your household, if not all of it, are volunteers as well, Caitlin. So good on you and your family too. And we really appreciate your insights as always. Caitlin Vine, the head Kanga. Enjoy the week off. We'll speak to you next week.
Thanks so much. Go Kangas.